as Jason Peck.
Woo! Yeah, Jason! Yeah, Jason!
How are you guys? My name is Jason. I'm a junior at BU. I'm so freaking nervous. But this is poetry is something that I really loved throughout high school and stuff. This is my first ever spoken word that I ever performed. So this is an original called Home. I wrote this over Thanksgiving break. So without further ado, I'll try to harness this nervous energy into something better.
Woo!
Let me tell you a little story about two twin brothers who went off to college. Eddie and Andrew are their names, and it's their first year I want to acknowledge. Both flying into the frigid city of Boston, their parents dramatically waved them goodbye at LAX. And as they entered into a different world, neither of them really knew what was coming next. Andrew, on one hand, arrived at school with a re-energized attitude. He wasn't going to let his precious years to waste, so he made the most out of his time that he should. Surrendering himself into meeting new people, he went out every single weekend. From Thursday to Sunday, he joyously lost himself in the haze of temptation instead. Whether it was feeling hungover from a crazy night or laughing over the memories of a YOLO moment, Andrew shut his eyes and submerged himself to the pleasures, not knowing that he was slowly being broken. But Andrew idolized it. Was he really going to regret what he did? No way. Whether it was being the center of attention or hooking up with girls left and right, Andrew kept his eyes fixated on the present, relentlessly doing things as if he were out of spite. But on the other hand, Eddie hated Boston and everything about college. The freezing cold weather, sleeping in a twin bed, eating dining hall garbage. California was all he thought, to be honest. His queen-size bed at home, the warm weather, the sound of his barking dog, the taste of his mom's spiced cabbage, suffocating in an environment he wanted to run away from, he dreamt of home every second as if he was held hostage. He dreamt about driving his car down the highway with the windows down, blasting his favorite Justin Bieber track, and he flexed his chest at every large group screaming, West Coast, Best Coast, pompously thinking everyone else was so whack. It's the deliciousness of In-N-Out he missed. And when East Coasters waved about Mexican food, Eddie almost yacked. He thought of home every single day. And it was California he dreamt of, desperately and urgently wanting to go back. So I ask you, Cornerstone, when winter break rolled by, who do you think enjoyed home the most, Andrew or Eddie? The biggest fear in my life, as I'm sure many of yours as well, is not knowing what's in the store for the future. My daily stress, my constant anxiety centers around my future and praying it'll be fulfilling and something not like a blooper. I fear that the biggest disappointment in my life will be putting a frown on the two most important people in my life. That my efforts came short of what they've provided for me, and ultimately that I've lost life's biggest fight. I fear that what God has in store for me tomorrow can easily be something that I didn't expect and despise. And that my biggest weakness is ultimately myself, and I'll wind up falling to my own demise. But whether your struggles are A, B, or C, X, Y, or Z, brothers and sisters, are you thinking about home? Are you dreaming about the day when God tangibly clothes us, feeds us, and hugs us, whispering that we're his own? Are you dreaming about the day when my King descends from heaven and shouts in a sweet, sweet tone, "Fear no more, for I have descended from my throne. Fear no more, for I am now here for your precious soul. And fear no more, for you will never, ever feel alone." Are you dreaming of the day when God's people from the past, present, and future collide in harmonious praise? Are you dreaming of the place when all fear is banished and in victory we glorify the goodness of God's grace? Are you dreaming of the luxuries and securities of this world's finite race? Or are you dreaming of the luxuries and securities of his heavenly place? Are you dreaming, Cornerstone, about the marching of God's children in triumphant and exultant parade? I'll ask you again, my brothers and sisters, are you thinking about home? Thanks so much.